Hi, welcome to the first video lecture for section 7.2, polysaccharides. The most abundant biological molecule on Earth is the carbohydrate. The carbohydrates produced in plants are important factors in the diets of all people. Polymers of carbohydrates even serve as structural elements in the cell wall of many species. Hypoglycemia can occur in humans when the glucose levels or carbohydrate intake fall below normal range. These individuals are left with a low blood sugar, a feeling of lightheadedness, and in some severe cases, diabetes. Thus, understanding the relevance of carbohydrates and the role they play in your health is imperative to maintain a healthy and functional diet. There are three classes of carbohydrates that the text explicitly explains: monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. And saccharide is just the Greek term for sugar. We even established a few learning outcomes with this section. Explain the determination of polysaccharide sequences and how it is different from DNA and RNA. Polysaccharides assume three-dimensional structures. We will discuss those in depth. Why do starch and cellulose, common polysaccharides, fold into the three-dimensional structures that they do? And here are just a few reminders from section 7.1. A carbohydrate is just an aldehyde, which has an R group, hydrogen, and oxygen, or a ketone, which is just two R groups with two hydroxyl groups. It could also be a substance that yields such compounds on hydrolysis. Typically, carbohydrates have the empirical formula CH2ON, which N, as we know, can be just any number. A polysaccharide is a sugar polymer containing more than 10 monosaccharide units. So from what you know from section 7.1, attempt to answer the do you know it question. Cellulose is a linear chain of hundreds to thousands of linked D-glucose units. Is it a polysaccharide? We can eliminate option C because we know that a monosaccharide must just have an aldehyde or a ketone. So we'll do our aldehyde, for example. And we know that there exists a carbon right there. That cannot be the correct answer. We know that the correct answer is actually A, yes, because glucose is just a monomer unit. Okay, and into our discussion of polysaccharides. What is polysaccharide, which can also be known as a glycan? A polysaccharide, as stated before, is just a sugar polymer that contains more than 10 monosaccharide units. Okay? Most carbohydrates occur in nature in polysaccharide. Keep in mind also that the key words are highlighted in blue. There exist two primary types of monosaccharides. There are homopolysaccharides, which we know contain only a single monomeric sugar species. Okay? These serve as storage forms and structural units and can be used as fuels. Starch and glycogen are some prime examples. This is just a linear example right here, and this one is branched, as you can tell. Okay, and there are also heteropolysaccharides, which contain two or more kinds of monomers. Okay, these provide extracellular support, and like the HOMO, we see that these are linear and these are branched. And on to the do you know it question. A biochemist is analyzing the structural envelope or cell wall of bacteria. The cell wall, known as peptidoglycan, is made up of two alternating monosaccharide units. Thus, peptidoglycan can be considered A. We know that the answer is not C, protein. Oops, apologize for that. Okay. A protein is just a long amino acid sequence. Okay. Now it's between options A and B. We know that the answer is actually option B because this is two alternating monosaccharide units, and our heteropolysaccharide contains two or more kinds of monomers. Thank you, and I look forward to you watching the next video lecture.